We're here with Clara. She's a Division I soccer player here in the state of Texas. And we're going to talk about some of her ideas and her basically experiences being a soccer player, number one, at an elite level. Her vision, basically her visual demands. We've also decided to do a vision correction surgery today. And there's 3 that are commercially available for most athletes. We decided on one that we thought would be best for you today. But before we get into any of that, when you're kind of out there on the pitch and when you're playing soccer and stuff like that, what do you guys call it? Soccer, football?
Soccer.
Okay, good, thank you. And for all of America, thank you. So when you're out there, you guys, I think, are a little bit different kind of group when it comes to athletes, simply because of the amount of time you spend outside. Right? A lot of other sports professionally play indoors, they play a lot indoors. Also, you don't have any specific eye protection, right? It's not that common that you see anyone wearing eye protection during a soccer game. So does it get to you ever? The wind, the sun, all that kind of stuff?
I think definitely living in Lubbock and all the dust and stuff definitely gets to me, especially during the really windy seasons, because we'll play outside even when it's windy or even when it's, really bright, middle of the day sometimes, so definitely. And
that's one thing I want to be clear of. Her home stadium is probably the windiest, driest place on earth. Now, it's a wonderful place, but it's super crazy elements. When I've seen goalkeepers occasionally put on baseball caps. I didn't even know that was illegal or illegal, but are outfielders allowed to wear that? Have you ever seen a soccer player wear a baseball hat for sun?
I mean, not really, just because, when the ball's in the air and you want to head it out or whatnot. I mean, I've looked directly into the sun just trying to find the ball, because sometimes it disappears in the sun too. So
that's always an interesting question I have too. Football players put the eye black on. Have you ever seen a soccer player use that to decrease glare?
I've seen one of my goalies, actually, she does that sometimes. She has she'll put something on right here.
You guys have the stickers now, right, that you can put on as well?
But not really often, just because sometimes it might fall off or just rub off.
As you know, you play one of the sports notoriously that's known for causing the most concussions in the United States. Do you guys get a lot of education on that from trainers, your team, stuff like that?
Not really. I mean, only if you kind of get a concussion.
If you get one.
Yeah,
right.
So there's not much talk about it, really.
Now, for some that aren't aware, soccer players, it's a much more physical sport than people understand, as well as it tends to be, female soccer players tend to get a higher rate of concussions. We don't quite understand why, but a lot of it has to do with, 2 people going up to head a ball very often or unpredictably hitting the ground. So vision has a lot to do with your anticipation, things like that. My biggest issue with soccer players when you guys are out in the sun a lot of the times is, like I said, I never see eye protection. I never see glare, anti-glare kind of stuff. And you guys are always kind of throwing your bodies up, looking up at the sky, directly at the sun. Are you guys ever taught, basically, when the ball disappears in the sun, like we teach football players, if the football ever disappears into the sun, catch the sun? Because that's the best information that I can give. Are you guys kind of the same thing? If the ball disappears in the sun, you just aim for where you think the ball is going to be?
Yeah, I'll just be like, okay, well, I guess I'll put my head right there. So
where it's going to go. All right. Now, when it comes, you obviously wear glasses and contacts, and I'm sure you've done exceptionally well up to this point. You're a collegiate soccer player, but what kind of issues do you run into wearing glasses and contacts when it comes to training or playing?
For me, I just don't wear glasses when I'm training or anything like that, just because I'm a big sweater, and then it's just really annoying to me, they'll fall off, or I just don't really like it on my face. I've never done that. I've always worn contacts since I was in 5th grade. So, but with the contacts, I think it's about just always getting dry, and I always constantly move my contact in my eye, but I feel like that's not good either, because then I'll just get gross stuff in my eye. So sometimes it's annoying too, just because I'll sweat really bad and they'll get in my eye and stuff like that, so that's annoying too.
Certainly, and we see that a lot, basically with a lot of contact sports like football or even basketball and soccer. We see a lot of contact lens movement, even contact lenses falling out, and that could be devastating, obviously.
Oh yeah, that's happened to me before, the contact falling out.
In soccer, will they stop the proceedings if your contact falls out? Or do you have to pretend like you're hurt?
Yeah, you have to pretend like you're hurt.
Yeah, it's the same thing with football. If your contact falls out, they don't care. You really have to show that you have some type of physical distress.
Usually take a knee or something that you were hurt or something like that.
Now, we're going to go ahead and do a procedure today to correct your vision, and this should give you exceptional vision, hopefully for the rest of your life, and very often in that case. What are some of the issues that you're concerned about when, thinking about, oh gosh, I'm an elite athlete. I wear a prosthetic device to help me see better at this point. But Is there anxiety going into something like this?
I think for me, of course, it's going to be like a little bit of, oh, it's a little scary, but I think I'm just more really excited to have this procedure just because, I mean, I've been wearing contacts and glasses my whole life, so I'm not as scared of like things going in my eyes just because, you know, I've always had to put contacts in or like dirt get in there, and it's just, you know, it's never really bothered me, so I'm just more excited and more.
And you're fortunate. You're at a time
Yeah.
now where we're using these newer procedures that is going to allow you to train within days. You know, you'll be back to full training within days. Very little to no downtime. You know, obviously we're going to want to monitor your vision, but we expect you to have exceptional vision even the next day. So that's kind of cool as well. One of the things though that, you know, we always want to be mindful with all of our athletes is being aware that, you know, you may experience a little bit more dryness for the first little bit. And we've talked about this before and the need to treat that as you're training. You know, think about artificial tears as Gatorade kind of for your eyes as we go. And that's a temporary thing that tends to alleviate. But when you get out of glasses and contacts, what do you think is going to be the kind of the biggest deal for you getting out of glasses and contacts?
I mean, maybe just as simple as like my daily routine, just like waking up, putting my contacts on, because I always have like a set, like what I do. But I think it's just gonna be so weird waking up and like already being able to see, I guess, and just kind of having a different, you know, I don't know. I just don't really remember the last time I've ever been able to like actually see clearly.
You're actually a large subset of athletes, especially with female athletes at an elite level, because they tend to suffer more dry than male athletes.
Yeah.
So in your case, plus you're in an extreme playing environment. So the idea of correcting your vision is not only actually to help you see better, but ultimately correcting your vision is going to help with the dryness long term. And so that's another benefit as well. It's just, I love it when my athletes kind of go back out on the pitch or go back out in the field and say, I just don't think about my eyes ever. Like it doesn't cross my mind. And so that's that's what tells me we kind of did a good job. That's kind of where I hope we're going. So, all right, so we're going to get set up for the procedure here. We're going to do the procedure. You know, we'll talk to you a little bit, not after the procedure today, but, you know, kind of down the road to see what your experience is and really how it's changed not only your training and your playing, but, you know, maybe everyday life, just on campus and stuff like that. So we'll get back and we'll see what the next steps are, okay?
Yep.
Go.